Hello, DrayBarrrels. I always say hello twice, but how are you, Governor?
Very well indeed. Started a new job this week, something a bit different, and yeah, all's good this side. Bit of nice weather as well.
Good,
So yeah,
good.
we're all systems go. How about yourself?
Yeah, very good. It's the weather's finally cleared up. We had weeks and weeks of rain, but yeah, I am making a little expedition on the weekend to a few breweries in Dripping Springs, which is near Austin. So I should have a few videos for all you Dray barrels out there.
Oh, that'd be nice. A few from a taster of that area. That'd be good.
Yeah, it's kind of a mecca for breweries in this kind of area, so it'll be a bit of fun. So
How
anyway.
far is that from where you live?
It's probably it's kind of close to Austin, so a little bit further south. So probably an hour's drive, roughly,
Oh,
give or
yeah.
take.
Cool.
So
Oh, nice one.
should be good fun. So look out, Dray Barrels. We'll have some shenanigans, I'm sure. But anyway, here we are again, and we will do a bit of news, shall we?
Chalice.
Shall us, can't us?
As can.
Us can. So it's usually this, isn't it? Is he drinking now? Oh, sorry. It's not that one.
Oh, what shambles.
I've got some beer news for you. It was Terry. He did a few recordings before he left my employment, but
Yeah, it sounds like he's been on the sauce. Right, so let's get down to it. I've got a bit of beer news from this side of the pond, as you like to say, but it's a worldwide bit of news.
Ooh, brilliant!
This coming week sees the G7 summit, which is all the major powers, the global seven, or however they want to be known, and the shower of shite that lead our countries, and they're all meeting up in Cornwall in Great Britain, which is the county beneath me. I've spoke about that enough times, but yeah, they're meeting down there. They've cordoned off St Ives, I believe, or Padstow, or one of them, and none of the locals can get near their places so easy. There's 6,000 police. Biden's just arrived in the country, so he'll be heading down there tomorrow.
Have a pint.
Yeah, have a pint, have a paddle with Boris, no doubt. Bit of fun and games on the promenade or on the beach. But no, the beer news associated with that is from St Austell Brewery, which we've reviewed on this show a couple of times, and in the Instagram reviews that we do from the garage or the balcony. And yes, St Austell Brewing have released a small batch brew to mark this special summit. As we know, every time they meet, it happens somewhere else in the world. So this is the 47th summit that's ever happened. So they've released a small batch brew, which became available on their website tonight and in pubs across Cornwall. And it's called Summit 47. And it is a 4.7. See what they did there? Golden ale.
Brilliant. They're really they're tapping into that commercial, worldwide news, if you will.
Yeah. So they're bleeding every single inch out of it that they can. No, fair play to them. It's in the county. St Austell's a lovely brewery, as we've mentioned before, big employer down in the southwest, and a bit of a small batch. I'd love to see the 7 leaders from around the world all having a pint of Summit 47. That'd be great, wouldn't it? A great big cheers.
Yeah, you could Boris, obviously Biden. Who else would be there? Russia.
I should imagine Boris would probably have one of those like baseball hats with the cans on the side and the 2 straws, and
that's Trump, innit? He wears those.
Yeah, he'd be wearing one of those, a bit like Trump, and he'd be there with his probably odd socks in flip-flops and his pasty old legs, or a handkerchief, sleeves rolled up but still got his tie on.
and a big old beetroot face,
Yeah,
like
stumbling on the sand.
he reminds me
Amazing.
of my brother in a way. Yeah,
Yeah, come
it's
up, be lobster by the end of the day.
that's
And
that's great. Well, I'd look at
Biden, if it's a nice day, probably be asleep in a deck chair and
on
yeah,
his little Zimmer frame along the pier
yeah,
there.
be there and then be reminding him where he is,
Oh,
Cornwallshire.
so what's going on?
Whatnot.
There's a lot of oh yeah, there's a lot of Cornish news going on of late, isn't there? That's two in a row.
Well, it's a popular part of the world, isn't it?
It is, especially
It
this
is.
time
So,
of year.
yeah, just a little bit of beer news to get going.
Oh,
Concerning the old G7. So good luck to them. Let's hope they have a good old jolly up down there and
definitely, definitely.
work things out for the rest of us.
Yeah. To keep us all in line, keep us all in order. But it's Cornwall is one of those little places that's kind of small, but they almost can't contain the amount of tourists that come down there every summer, right? Because
Yeah,
it's a fairly big county, but it's like it almost feels like the entire UK all congregate on
yeah,
Cornwall in
yeah.
the
It
summer.
funnels down, and then you get a problem because there's
Oh,
only like a one main road in, and sort of, there are other roads obviously, but like a main, yeah, terrible traffic jams. And then the Cornish people, the Colonels, they're fiercely sort of protective of their county, and some of them even want to break away and form their own government and country down in Cornwall. But
it is that, and I read somewhere this week that they were talking about, oh, what's the fifth country of the UK, and they talk about Cornwall as being that in a way, and I know they've had kind of protests, and I think a bomb went off once down there in
oh,
yeah, this was years. I think this was in the 70s or 80s, but it was a tiny little package bomb that had minimal effect. I think it was like a firework going off, basically. I'll have to look that
yeah,
one up.
like in a pasty or something, it just made a hell of a mess. Right. Anyway, it's enough about the Cornish and the top bods from around the world. Let's crack on with this week. What have
I
you got for us over there, Ref?
definitely. So I am continuing with the trend of all these refreshing kind of summer beers in a way. So this is a milkshake sour IPA called Tangerine, and
Oh,
it's from Blue Owl Brewing out of Austin that I've talked about before in one of these, but I'm gonna go over it all again, give the skinny later, because you got to think some of these we talk about, but it could be months and months ago, right? And
yeah. Well, I mean, the loyal ones will always go back and re-listen. Like I know
exactly.
Yorick has it constantly on repeat.
He's obsessed. He does his little
The
box
better he's not only his knowledge, but his grasp of the English language. I mean, what finer advocates are there?
European. See, he's from the
Two
continent.
Australians telling you how to pronounce things.
Yeah, get out. Yeah. But this is yeah, it's a tangerine one. So oh no, tangerine and vanilla. So I'll get my pour on and have a taste so you at least can get supping as well.
Yeah, I love the blue owl. I love that.
Isn't it cool? And I think oh, do you remember I did the old on my previous one of Blue Hour, I went to open the mini review. So that's kind of going that's one of our early ones. That was in
Yeah,
the dead of
I
winter.
had managed to forget that, and now it's at the forefront of my mind again.
This knowledge, it always hovers above, it's always in the background. So I get my pour on quickly and have a little taste and a smell, so at least you can be supping away yourself, which we're trying to do, and we talk a bit more about the breweries afterwards. Oh, that's a good pour in it.
Not bad, old man.
Oh, I'm getting better. That knowledge is coming back a little bit from the pub days. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely getting the IPA hints in it with a mix of kind of just like a fruity IPA, but this is a sour style, so this is different for me. Look how cloudy that is. It's not clear, right?
No, it's not. Go on then, get a glug in, and then I'll pour.
Hmm. Definitely orangey, slight fizz to it, and yeah, that's nice. It's pretty smooth actually. It doesn't taste like a typical sour. Like some sour.
Strange way to to drink a drink.
What am I doing?
That's this season's newest. Oh, everyone will be doing that. Oh, let's
That's
tip it.
that's the trend.
We were only talking in recent weeks about the clasp, the good farmer's jar
Yeah,
clasp,
right.
but to use, you're up round the top hand is around the bulge in the glass, and the bottom is tipping it. It's an
Yeah.
incredible technique.
If you're not, if you're listening, not seeing it, I have one thumb just out there in the air, and I'm just doing a tip, basically, right?
It doesn't look right, but I can't stop watching it.
Just pour. I'll do a bit more
Right.
later.
Okay. So to continue with this summery drink, as you just said, and these lovely flavors, I've decided to go for a nice winter stout. In recent weeks, I haven't been near stouts on the review. I've done sours, as you know. I'm enjoying them, and lagers, and a couple of IPAs and whatnot. A couple of normal golden beers. So I've had this one for a while in my fridge, and it's the White Hag, which is an Irish brewing company, and the beer is called the Dark Druid. A 5.5%, and it is a chocolate orange pastry stout. So the design of it, if you look at the wavy, it's sort of like a 70s wallpaper, but it's like an orange segment over and over on a brown background. Quite flower peary, man.
It's very 70s.
So let's get the pour on. This is an Irish brew, as I've said, from a different brewery, so that's always nice. Just gone for the old tumbler glass, and this is only a little stubby fucker.
It is. It's not going to be a full pint, is it? That?
No, it might be with the head. Cool, blimey! I didn't think it was like that.
Yeah, it's a big head on that's half the pint.
Oh, fucker! That is orangery.
Oh, we're both going for the citrus theme, aren't we? Should we call it the orange special?
You could. Tangerine meets orange. So look at that.
Yes.
That they got. That's a fizzy old stout. That.
It's dark.
Well, I wish I would hold the microphone in there. Oh, it's like the pitter patter of rain on a tin roof. Beautiful.
Can you
So
hold
here
it
we go. So yeah, that is strong orange scent to that. So there's the settle. Not bad. It calmed down in the end. Fluffy head on that. I don't think that's going to last the whole drink, but let's get a glug on.
That was a very fast settlement.
Ooh. I've had an orange stout before. That is extremely orangey.
Wow.
Not really, not too thick. I'd say medium thickness. It's pretty nice. It's different.
And was there hints of orange in the smell? I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah, I think I said it was really orangey.
Oh, you did actually.
Yeah,
that gives it away.
No, it's really pungent is the word, I suppose. So no.
Good. That's gonna be. You're gonna finish that. You'll be down to your drag in no time.
Yeah, I can drink it pretty quick.
I was debating whether to do a stout this week. I might do one next week, actually. But that's good, you know. We've got a little bit of mix going on. I've got.
Was that a mini debate or a mass debate when you're debating it?
It was more a mini disco, to be honest. A mini debate. Sorry. Yeah. What's he saying? Yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of thinking about it, and I'm glad I went. And actually, my lovely wife, she picked up a few for me this week. So this one and a stout and another sour, I believe. So
good.
I might do a mini review on the little. And that was a stubby fucker, the sour. But I always kind of like to do a bit of a tall boy on these, so we get a good old glad.
I would have. I've just had this for so long. when we were doing the stout season. I never got round to it, and I just thought it looks so lonely in a fridge full of IPA.
and your contingent of sours, which is ever
Yeah.
decreasing.
Well, it is actually. I've got to get some more, but luckily enough, White Hag Brewing do sours.
Oh, brilliant! So where did you find this, out of interest?
I can't remember, but I'm guessing it was bought at Lidl, which is a supermarket, because they've sort of franchised with them throughout the country and 26 countries worldwide as well. So I've got a couple of other beers from Lidl that they seem to be getting, on with the craft beer scene. We've mentioned them before. I've got a couple of IPAs in the fridge from other companies. So yeah, I'm guessing it was Lidl, or it may have come in a pack at some point, but I can't put my finger on it exactly. But I know you can order them from their website, which is great. So shall I give a little bit of a rundown?
Oh yeah, let's go with yours. Now you're on it.
Right, so as I said, it's a chocolate pastry stout, and this is from Ireland, as I said, in the northwest of Ireland. Now this is going to be, I'm going to piss some people off here. It is either County Silo with a silent G, or County Sligo. Sligo. I'm sure it's Sligo. I don't know.
We've talked about this before, haven't we?
I don't know. I'm getting a bit. I know that one of the Irish people over there might drop us a line, but anyway,
Okay.
Sligo. So it's from there. Town called Ballymote, which I've said is in Northwest Ireland. And this brewery was set up in 2013 by some of the guys, got together with some expertise. They wanted to set up the best brewery they could. And they were the first brewery to open in that county for 100 years.
What?
Which is mad, isn't it? So they were the first new brewery for 100 years in Silo. They're a modern, independent craft brewery inspired by the ancient and classic styles. So that's nice. I like it when they go for that. A bit of a modern twist on things, but also harping back to their hinterland, as they said. Very proud of where they come from.
Yeah.
The more I dug on these guys, the more interesting they became. They have done a few different things over lockdown. They collaborate with other breweries worldwide, fairly regular. But they're very proud of where they come from, and they're very proud of the countryside and area of Northwest Ireland. It's not too far from the border with Northern Ireland, and they've got a photograph competition, which is 1,000 words, because they say a photograph can inspire 1,000 words, and they want people to take photos and things of the local area, and they celebrate it. Now they have internships where they offer young people 6-month placements on a regular basis, getting people on the brewery scene. They've got a job going at the moment, if anyone in that area is interested. A lot of jobs come up in breweries, and there's none near me.
The
I'd love to have a go at something. I know there's small independent breweries around here, like small ones, but there's no real big ones.
Yeah.
But so right, let's get to a bit of what they do differently. So this year they're hoping to open a tap room. Every year for the last few years they had like a small festival that started off with 200 people, craft beer festival. Then the following year was 1,500 people. Then it got bigger and bigger and bigger. It's called the Hag Stravaganza.
Oh, brilliant.
It's a cool name. Live music, beer tasting, craft beers, just a good lot of fun. Now, last year they couldn't do it, obviously, because of lockdown, and I think possibly they're coming to the sort of conclusion it won't happen this year. It may do later in the year, but at the moment it's more of a summer thing, as festivals tend to be. So they done a box extravaganza, which they had 500 boxes of beers that you could order. It'd be delivered to your door, and then you could join in online. They had live music, they had quizzes, fun things, and tasting. You could taste along with them, which
Yeah,
I thought was great. You know, it's a
very
brilliant
good
little thing.
idea.
And then they've got a couple of twists. It's almost like they know us. We've missed it. We have missed a trick here. News of the week. Listen to this. If you sign up and get their regular letter, you know, like their email that drops in your box every month telling you about the brewery, it's called a brews letter.
Oh, I see what they did there.
Yes, I like that. I like it a
That's
lot.
that's brilliant.
So,
Why don't we do puns like that? We haven't
no,
done any puns. It's just, well, I think dregs of the week is a good pun, I gotta say. But beer news of the week is just okay. It wasn't
it
much
might
to it.
become brews news of the week.
We're not copying you guys
We're
over
not
there.
copying you. We're called the White Flags, and
That's more like it. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. But no, they're a good little brewery.
Wow.
And now they're in Lidl. There's a good output from them, you know. So,
That's
um,
I like that they're doing collaborations. That's always a good sign with breweries.
yeah, they got loads of beers on there. Like I said, they've got couple of sours. They got a very interesting one called a puka berry hibiscus and ginger, which is a dry lemon sour. They got apple sours, Christmas beers, uh, modern modern pills lager, Little Fawn Session IPA, Ninth Wave, a New World Pale Ale, and a Black Boar Imperial Stout.
Oh,
Hit
that
me
one.
up for that one.
Imperial, yes, and that'll be a nice winter warmer, wouldn't it? If you can find that one to
I
warm
think
your
so.
cockles.
I think that this one, like now I'm talking to you, this one here, I can imagine like you drinking this, like we talk about like a dessert stout.
Yeah,
Like I can imagine you having like a Christmas dinner, and you've had your Christmas pudding, and this would be a good accompaniment for the Christmas pudding. Nice sort of
yeah,
stout with a bit of an orange tang to it.
definitely. And sod the quality streets, the orange ones, go for that instead. You know, a Christmas afternoon.
Yeah, have a few stouts. We'll have a few orange ones with it. What a treat! Chocolate and orange on all levels. Go into a
Definitely.
chocolate orange coma. Right, last thing to mention about these guys before you give us the
Oh yeah,
lowdown on the Owl Brewers over there. Blue Owl Brewing, in it.
Blue Owl Brewing.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So they launched a thing. As you know, we've had stages of lockdown over here. Now, back in May, I was looking at their website. They launched a thing called Nay Beers. Not neighbours, Nay Beers. Now, what you done was you bought beers off of their website. And when you bought beers off of their website, they'd send you a voucher. They send you a voucher for yourself for free beer, and a voucher that you gave to your neighbour. Someone down your road that you thought needed cheering up with a beer, or you wanted to have a beer with in their garden at the time before we was allowed to go in people's houses. And there was a little incentive. So you bought beers from them, give you a voucher, you redeem the voucher, they send you some beers for you, beers for your neighbour.
That's brilliant, and it's probably. I mean, I
It
know
was
you.
limited. It was limited because I know they made that clear, because the Irish do like a good drink, don't they? So
They do, so they do. But you get on quite well with your neighbours. I can't say the same about me, but that would probably be something that you could do down your street.
I'm
If
a very affable fellow.
you are with those bins, always watching and keeping an eye on the situation, which is very affable. But no, that's great, and they seem to be kings of the puns in a way, don't they? Then
Oh,
this neighbour, you know,
everybody needs good neighbours, eh? What
they
a
do
treat.
a bouncer. But yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, loved it.
So
Loved
they're a good little company. a bit out of the way. If I went to Ireland and I was traveling around, you could definitely call in if you was doing a big tour, because I know people like to drive the coastal road of Ireland and Northern Ireland. You could
Yeah.
definitely go and see these guys on the way. But other than that, they're a bit, they're a bit far from Dublin and a little bit up from Limerick and Galway, and that they're a bit higher up. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure I'd ever get there. But
And it
if
was
you send me a ticket and some free beers, I'll see you next week.
on the ferry. I did actually hear a call saying that it's actually pronounced Sligo. So that came through from the other room. So just so you know. Um,
Who's that, Terry? I thought he'd gone.
no, no, it was my lovely wife. She expert on such things. Terry's gone. He ain't coming back. I know he pestered us now and again, but and also I just wanted to mention you
How does
mentioned
she say Lego?
Lego. I don't know actually. Um,
They say Legos or Lego?
what do they say in America? Legos or Lego? Nothing. Okay. Well, we will. I'll let you know. Maybe that's one to follow up on next week. Um, I preempt the geezer down in London, and I will find out what
Oh,
local. So, but I did want to mention you said something about the hinterland, and I don't know if you know what that is. Oh, the raccoons have started, bastards.
you're so racist.
Well,
Just
raccoons.
calling the neighbours.
Okay, well, they're not.
You like that?
Yeah, they are my flipping neighbours in the attic. They sublet our attic. But do you know what the hinterland is? I
Well,
no, it's
well, I always thought it's something to do with Germany, but I don't think it is.
I think that may be the I'd have to look it up again, but it actually means it's the land between the foreshore and then you get into inland. So it's kind of that area where the beach becomes kind of grass and stuff like
Ah,
that.
yeah, that makes sense then, because they're slightly inland.
Yeah, it's just kind of in between. I guess it's the classification between inland and the foreshore, and I think I was just researching that TV show. I don't know if you ever watched it, The Hinterland. Pretty dark actually. It's
Obviously not.
no, it's a Welsh murder crime thing
Oh,
and they were like in Devil's Bridge in Aberystwyth.
oh,
Uh,
were they? Oh,
yeah,
what?
it's quite good. They only did like 3 series of it.
Were they chasing people that got into Devil's Bridge for free? Were they?
They would, yeah. I know a few people have done that, but no,
Back
they
in my
would.
slimmer days.
Yeah, squeeze past those gates, those funny gates that they had there. But it was to do with like there was a nursing home or something there, and they were investigating a crime there. But it's pretty dark, grim viewing. It has atmosphere, I should say. But
Right.
yeah, I think it's on the Netflix if any DrayBarrrels are interested. Um,
On the Netflixes.
Ned, that's the one. But anyway, I go off subject, so I do.
Come on. Come on, to it, to who. Come on, Hootie Owl. Give us the
Woohoo!
spiel.
Woohoo! Owls are my favorite birds. So now this is
Oh, I
actually
like women. They're my favourite birds. Chalk it up. Nice bit of skirt.
so this. Oh, what's he like? Six. I don't know if you said meant this is 6.2%. I can't remember. Did you mention the percentage of yours?
5.5.
5.5, 6.2, and it's 6.2, and it's moving on. Drift into your dreams with this pillowy milkshake sour IPA. That's what it's flavored on. It's so alongside Lotus and Mandarin Mandarina Bavaria hops. So that's kind of the ingredients as such on this lovely
I've heard of
cross
loads of
cross between a sour and an IPA. But the brewery itself is kind of downtown Austin. That's where it's based, and they started in 2015. So when it was 2013 on yours, right? So it's kind of around that same kind of time period, I think there was a big surge in brewers and stuff like that. So it's basically an all sour brewery based in Austin. That's what they market it as. So they make sour beers approachable, still unique. And they talk a lot about the sour style as well, and their website's fantastic. Go on it, and you can actually look at the process of how they make sours. They kind of give not diagrams, but they show photo montage of the process, and they explain how they do it and how they ferment it. So if you're interested in the science of beers, definitely go and check that out.
I think a lot of these breweries I know you had a brief lockdown in America, but I think, with some of the places shut and stuff like that, especially over here, they've had a lot of time on their hands, and they've got sort of their websites are real slick. They've got a lot of the ones over here have
Definitely.
videos and adverts on their thing, and it's great.
It's fantastic. I think that's probably the key is the lockdowns, and you got to think we've had lockdowns, yeah, but a lot of these brewery after the lockdowns, a lot of these places still remain closed.
Mm.
So it's delivery and pickup, and our lockdown was just a brief period last year, but still places remain closed. Still places closed now, you know. So when we talk about lockdowns, it's not. I mean, national they ease restrictions and stuff, but places still are closed. Luckily, all
Yeah.
these places are opening again. But yeah, it's owned by a gentleman called Jeff Young and Susie Schaffer. They've gone into business together. They originally set it up, co-owners, and it's staffed by a small gang of dedicated folks making and serving their absolute favorite beers. So they're obviously big sour fans, you know.
Yeah.
So,
My
yeah,
type of people.
what's that?
My type of people.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you are a convert.
I've
You
had
are,
5 hours in my life. I'm an
yeah,
absolute expert.
definitely. You are. You're a master of knowledge. But yeah, their aim is to produce clean, well-balanced beers that retain the characteristics of their style. They have a wonderful website. You can see the tasting room and the tap room and such like that. Go and check them out if you're in Austin. It's downtown Austin. They are open. They are just. Just going to say this. They're closed Monday and Tuesdays, but they open the rest of the time. And as you always talk about, Governor, is there anything going on? You
Please,
know,
is there?
nope,
Oh,
nothing. I think it's just the way it is right now, right? I mean, obviously, you talked about they do that massive thing at your one in Sligo, which I thought was cool. You know, that the event and the tasting and all that. I thought it was
yeah.
a fun time,
Nice.
but
I mean, there's a thing over here called. It's funny because you was wearing a t-shirt yesterday, but Bigfoot. It's called the Bigfoot Festival, and it's the first sort of huge outdoor craft beer festival. Is supposed to be going on in July over here.
okay.
I'm not sure it will. It seems a bit, unless they're going to move it, it seems a bit close because they're talking about our lockdown on our full opening, which was supposed to be in like 2 weeks' time, might be postponed at the moment.
They used to do, my brother, old Bumble himself, used to go to this cider festival over in South Wales there, you know, just across the channel. And it used to go every year, but obviously it was probably stopped. I'll have to ask him. I think it was kind of close to Barry or kind of the Vale of Glamorgan, you know, you got Barry, and then you kind of go further south, sorry, further west towards
Is
Bridgend.
that what he told you? Any photographic evidence, or was it the fact that he went to Barry, bought some ciders in a co-op, fell asleep on the beach?
It was wonderful. We had a grand
Did a
old time.
festival.
It was berry ciders. No, it was Strongbow.
See, I
Blackberry.
think that your brother, I mean, this is going to go over the heads of our worldwide fans that aren't in
Um, Black
in
tea.
the British Isles.
Yeah.
But I think that your brother is Norman Price grown up.
Oh, so there's this wonderful show, DrayBarrrel's called Fireman Sam, and there was this little kid on there always got into kind of scrapes, right? Didn't he, Norman Price? And
The skateboard, played the drums. It sounds just like your brother.
yeah, and
Ali.
he was always kind of in trouble, but he always got forgiven.
Yeah.
Everything was wonderful at the end.
Everything was handed on a plate to him. You know, he almost burnt down the town. He gets rewarded at the end of the show with a nice big cake and, oh, don't do it again. It is just your brother.
Oh yeah, yeah. My brother's kind of that way inclined. I think he's just
It
got
doesn't
that.
matter. We can say whatever we like about him because number one, he doesn't listen to us because he's so lazy. Number two, if he did listen to us, we're a good 25 minutes in, he'd already be asleep.
On the very off chance down the line that he would listen somehow. It wouldn't happen. He wouldn't get to that stage. But there we go. Good old Bumble. Let's get him some nice cream buns and a lovely cup of tea, and everything's rosy Jim.
That was said a bit snidey.
No, yeah, I probably like him in a lot of ways. I like that as well. Anyway, I'm going to list a couple of beers.
Talk to me.
All right, chalk these up then. Okay, so they do wonderful farmhouse ale, apparently, called Syason Puday. So I'm just kind of explaining. They are predominantly sours. So most of the beers you get sours. This is kind of a little bit different, being a sour IPA, you know. It's a kind of a mix, a mismatch. Not mismatch. Mix match. Is that a word? But they also do another, if you just like an IPA on its own, they do one called a Tiki Hop Totem. It's a cool name. Tiki Hop Totem. So that's an IPA. For the stout lovers, they've got one called Admiral Gravitas, and that's an Imperial Double Oatmeal Stout.
Ooh.
And then most of their others are just sours. Their main big ones are Little Boss, which is a small owl one, Professor Black, which was the one I reviewed previously, and Spirit Animal, and they're all sours. So there you go. That's what they have.
Oh, that's good. They haven't got anyone called like a pellet porter.
Pellet? Oh, I'll hear where you're coming from. Because
ours don't fit, do they?
yeah, that's probably a bit off-putting in a way, right? They'd be thinking there's bones and stuff like that in it, because that's what the owls... You know what a pellet is, right? An owl pellet.
I do, yeah.
Okay. Well, if you don't, DrayBarrrels, it's the regurgitation. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Of all the bones of the little animals and stuff that they eat, and it becomes a pellet. And yeah, maybe that's an idea.
They don't poo, do they?
I think they poo, but this is a different kind of pooing. This is almost a vomiting. So they poo.
I think we'll veer off this subject. So I've got a
sorry,
I've got a private thing which may not go down too well on what life would be like, how disappointing life would be like to be a gay owl.
What does I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's not the time or place, is it?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well,
turn the way around. It seems such a waste.
They do spin their heads, but anyway, yeah. Let's not go down that road today. But anyway, yeah, I'm really pleased. I'm really enjoying this tonight. It's very refreshing. It's been really hot over here, so it's kind of good. And I'm not quite at the drag yet.
You know,
but
I've gone off this a little bit, and
really?
I just think it is the time of year. I think, like I said, I think that this is a warm type of drink to have if it's cold outside and you've had a nice meal. I think it would accompany it, but on its own,
yeah,
it started off all right, but on its own, like this middle part, it's all right. But I'd prefer, with a stout. I know we've had a couple of nice flavoured ones and things, but I do just like it to be straight down the line. So I
I,
think I'm going to try and source their Black Boar, the Imperial.
for winter, perhaps we'll do a winter.
Perchance.
Maybe when the days grow cold and the
When the
hours grow
stout
short.
season and the stout season is upon
Stout.
us.
I know, and you got to think we really started with the stout.
Somewhere between the hinterland of autumn and winter,
I
we
like.
suddenly perk up a stout. First of all, a creamy head will show itself, followed by a lovely black body.
I like your turn of phrase there. I can see that in front of a roaring old fire, telling a tale of two of beers drank and times lost. Hey, that's not.
The crackle, the crackle of a stove length, a well-seasoned stove length.
Oh, we could go off on a tangent here.
Oh,
We'll keep that for a stout winter special, perhaps. Oh, that would be a good one, wouldn't it? If you get one of those for our Christmas special.
the
Imagine
smell
that.
of hospitals in winter.
It takes me back to that time I was. Well, I won't go into it tonight.
Time I unfortunately dressed as an owl.
And it only comes out one end.
Okay,
All
right.
right. Anyway, I am pretty good on mine. And is anything you want to mention on your brewery before we go to?
I didn't find out what the white hag was.
So I did want to mention to you, that's very Celtic, isn't it? The white hag and the druid
Yeah,
references. So
it's maybe a witch sort of connection, with the dark druid. I mean, this was a third version of a different stout. They do a couple of others. They got plenty of other beers. I know I've listed some, but they have got plenty of other ones that they do. They do a specific Christmas ale. So, are
oh
we ever to get that before December's upon us?
well,
Oh
don't go
God.
down that road. But there's so many winter and Christmas ales now. It's almost like you need to do a month, and I think we've talked about it before. It's like doing a month. You could do one every day up until
We
December.
should do it for Advent.
Oh, there you go. So like,
DrayMens, the DrayMens Advent calendar. Oh, what a treat!
and it could
Every
be.
day you do one, I do one. Oh,
Well, I think we had originally talked about doing something similar, but why not? I mean, there's a challenge for us. Every day, you know? Let's think about that. I'm up for it. Shall we commit to that now? But
we don't need to think about it, do we? You do a stout, I do a stout, and then once a week we meet and do the thing, and we do a stout together.
yeah.
This would be absolute heaven.
Oh, I know. And you get these advent calendars now. They talk about Christmas in July. This is Christmas in June. We're already on it.
Especially when since last Christmas, when we'd only been going a couple of months doing this, but we've reviewed so many different breweries. A couple of them we have skimmed over twice with different beers, but most of these breweries have done, apart from maybe the cider ones, have done a stout. So if we could try and get one, that would be great.
So if you think about it, you could probably, so it would be 12 stouts for you and 12 stouts for me.
Well, it'd be 13, wouldn't it? Because we'd do one together on Christmas Day.
Oh yeah, that's true.
What a beautiful moment that would be.
We will release it on Christmas Day for you, DrayBarrrel.
Christmas Dave?
Christmas Dave. We will release it for you, Christmas Dave, on your birthday. Oh, didn't you know he shares his birthday with Jesus Christ? Christmas Dave. He does. He does.
Dave Christ. Right, let's get to it then.
So,
we got
yeah.
something?
Oh, you, it's Dregs of the Week.
So what have you got? Have you got one for us, or shall I start?
Mine's short and sweet. It's not
Okay.
too much. It's the fact that I've got this new job. Because of where I work, I have to now do 3 COVID tests a week.
What?
I know. And my son does 2 a week for school, lateral flow testing, and he's fine. He don't give a shit. He's just like, does it. And now I have to send it off and we have to present it to the school. It's a good thing, if any of the kids flash up, then they stay at home. They don't mix with the other ones, but it's rarely happened. But I now have to do 3 a week and I don't like doing it. I know I was a COVID tester for 8 or 9 months, but I don't like that sensation, having to do it 3 times a week.
I haven't done it once.
I only done it about 3 weeks ago for the first time.
So what does it involve?
I've been teaching people how to do it without ever doing it myself, and then I had to do it, and I thought, this is fucking awful.
They should be putting that on your training course when you were doing it, before you started doing it. So what does it involve? Just a swab in your mouth or what?
Swab at the back of your throat. That's the worst one, right at the back between where your tonsils are, without touching your tongue. You have to scrape it across the back 5 times. Okay. Then the same swab goes up each nostril 5 times. That's all right, but it's the one on the back of your throat. I don't fucking like that.
That's an entire process, and I think I probably have to do it when we come to the UK eventually. I don't know what is right. They still have green light, amber light, and stuff like that. But I think the process will be I'll probably have to prove I've been vaccinated, but also do a COVID test, which is fine. I don't mind doing it for that. But
they might do that anal one by then.
The anal one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. Where would I do it? In the airport with one of those security guards? Do you think?
Your ass, probably. Anyway, that's my thing. The sensation of doing a COVID test. Makes your eyes weep, I tell thee.
Well, I guess mine's similar in some ways, but my drag is spitting because my little boy got spat on in his summer camp this week, and I was fuming. And especially in COVID and stuff. And I don't like spitting in general. I think it's a dirty habit. Obviously, you got to do it, but you do it if you have to spit. Go to the bathroom, go to the toilet or something. But
conceal it in a tissue or handkerchief.
Yeah. But you see some people, I've seen it all my life, the louts and stuff. They're walking along the street. There's nails, isn't they?
Oh, yeah. Oh God! And they spit it out their nose.
And the hacking. I mean, it's almost like they're going for a clambadan or something. Is that?
Clambadan froid.
Or they're gonna say clambadan froid, or they're gonna one of the two. Isn't it? It's like 50-50.
On their way to Llangollen. Or Llantrisent.
Llantrisent, yeah. Llandanogo, yeah. Llantrisent. That's where my cousin's from, actually. But it's it's almost halfway to a spit anyway, isn't it? With half of the names in my homeland, but we don't follow through, unless we're singing. Then look out! It's all over the place.
Yeah, lovely baritone voices in the valleys.
I get into my karaoke for Tom Jones. Oh, look out.
Oh, I've heard that's gone down well.
Well, yeah, kind of. Everybody knows about it, even though
even Tom Jones was thinking about changing his name after he heard you. Oh, no, that's not me. It's some other chap, isn't it?
Like a drowning cat. Drowning cat, see? I don't like it.
It's old Tom Moans.
And I hear there's talk of the party starting again this year, and there's been talk of more karaoke shenanigans. So
you want to fucking knock them dead. You want to knock them dead with a Shirley Bassey.
Oh yeah,
come on, let's have it right.
There's an idea in it.
Hey, big spender.
Oh.
She was embarrassed and phoning up the lawyers last time. What's going to happen when you drop a bit of Bassey?
And didn't she do a cover of Pink's Let's Get This Party Started? That'll get the crowd going.
I just want you to completely hog it. Just so they ask you to leave or just turn it off.
Well, the first party there was 300 plus. The second party there was probably 200, and the last party there was hardly anybody there. It's not.
What an advert you are. At a dentist convention with your British teeth.
They're pretty wonky at the bottom, but there we go. Oh man.
Who's
Anyway,
that up there? Kit said I've never seen him before. Whoever that is.
yeah, it's the old coach, all right, Mike. Yeah, you're the one dragging me up there. Am I just a comedy routine at the end of the night, or what? Cheers.
You know, if I would put you at the start of the night, because anyone that followed you, you know, it would encourage more people to sing, because they think I can't be that fucking bad.
I think it's honestly, I remember not many people going up, apart from.
I've seen footage. It was brave.
Isn't
I always
it?
take your hat off to people that stand up in front of a crowd and sing, but it was not something I wish to see again.
Yeah, I was pressured into that. I'd never done karaoke until then. That was my first time, and then I'm doing it in front of 300 people. Who knows?
I'll send John over to you. Could do a duet.
Oh God, tub thumping with him, slamming his feet on the ground. Anyway, that's my drag. It was spitting. It's a dirty habit, and especially on kids, doing it on kids. I just didn't like that. So that pissed me off this week. And I guess we probably want to rate our beers. Do we, there, Governor?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Maybe I think I've drank this at the wrong time of year, but I'm just going to go a 7 on this. It's not a bad beer. It's just that I'm not enjoying it, and I'm sure that not enjoy. I like it's fine. Don't get me wrong, but I think I would enjoy it more in different circumstances.
Yeah.
So at the moment, this time of year, it's a 7. If I revisit it in, like we've said, the colder climes of the year after a lovely dinner, I think it would be a higher rating. But I'm looking forward to trying a few of their others. So thank you, the White Hag. It's been a pleasure.
It kind of rings true. It's like time and a place and atmosphere in a way, you know. It all kind of ties into your ratings, I think. But obviously, you know, this time of year just fits well. It's been pretty hot over here right now. Very refreshing. Not too tart like some sours can be. Bit overpowering. But I'm probably going to go in with a 7.5 on this one. So a little, not quite up to an 8, but you know, it's just a good mix. You know, it does really capture the sour. It's probably more veering towards the IPA for me, just a fruity IPA. But you can see what they're doing. I love this brewery. They're really experimenting with things and really pushing the boundaries of sours. So fair play on the Blue Owl. I know you have trouble maybe in the back, not so much in the front, but good brewery. I rate them highly. So 7.5 for me.
I think that's about the end of the show, isn't it, Ref?
Yeah, just drank the end of that. Okay, yeah, well, cheers, DrayBarrrels. Hope you enjoyed. We will see you. I hope you enjoyed our little mini ones this week, especially the Governors. Man, you're getting some ratings there. And
you should see my inbox.
Are they all Cornish or what? I don't know. But hey, keep watching. There's going to be a couple more next week, and like I say, I'll kind of join you, DrayBarrrels and Dripping Springs this week, and yourself, Governor.
Ta-ta.
Cheers.